absolutely melting up here. So I've had to sit down because I went for a climb all the way up through those bushes, all the way through that tree, down that trunk, and over those rocks over there. Quite a treacherous climb. It's very mucky and stuff, and a lot of the ground's actually fallen away, which is pretty dangerous, so you could fall in. Thankfully these bits you're just not too high, so it's not so bad. I went to have a look at the other waterfall, and it's a similar sort of mucky path, but unfortunately it's very, very eroded, so you're kind of taking your life into your own hands going that way. Underneath the embankment there's actually there's like a tree trunks and stuff coming out, and you can actually see under the soil where these paths are that it's just a drop, there's nothing there. So it's obviously just the tree roots that are holding it up. But for this shot I've literally been bracketing my exposures because there was a rainbow when I was around there, just at the bottom of the waterfall. I wanted to try and capture that but not blow out the highlights in the waterfall. But see, because the water's so fast just now, it's never like this. I wasn't having to shoot as slow as I would normally do, because if you try and get a really, really long exposure, you're just going to get a white out image and it's going to look terrible. So what I've done is I've tried to bracket the exposure so that I've got the brightness to catch the rainbow, and then I've dialed it down a few stops to get the detail in the waterfall, and then I've dialed it down a few stops again to get detail in the surrounding bushes and trees and leaves and stuff, so that everything will be hopefully nicely balanced by the time it's all been put in the Photoshop and processed. There's so many compositions here you can play with, it's just a gorgeous place. I've done a vertical composition and a landscape as well. I've obviously shot it from further back as well, which is where I'm sitting just now, and there's a few crisscross waterfalls which look really, really cool in the foreground, and then I've also shot the closer composition up the front as well. Yeah, I'm really, really happy, but my favourite from this location, I may have two, I'll post them here, and the second one, the closer up photograph, I'll post it here, and I'll also post them at the end of the video full screen as well, so you can have a look at them. I'm going to go for one more location today, and it's just about maybe 5 miles up the road, and there's folk have just turned up here to enjoy the view, so I'll let them get on with it and stop hogging all the good bits. This is a little bit of forest that I've been to once very briefly before, but I didn't actually come into. I just sort of skirted around the outside and had a look. And it's so peaceful, it's so lovely. And for me, this is what summer shooting is all about, because it's just beautiful. Look at this. I'll go this way and you can... It's so quiet, and there's this, I call it reindeer moss, I don't know if that's what it's called, but there's reindeer moss just like all over the floor. And there's streams of light just coming right through all the trees and the canopies. And there's birds tweeting, and it's summer. And this is why I don't mind shooting in summer, because there's tons of places you can go. There's obviously the waterfall I went to this morning, and then there's this bit which is called Carron Valley Forest Trail, I think this is called. I don't have time to do the whole trail today, I'm just doing a little part of it today, just to get a feel for the place, because I like to go to places more than once, especially if they're quite local to where I live, and sort of scout them at different times of the year. So obviously the waterfall I was at this morning, I was there in March or April time this year, and there was snow there, and it was a completely different place, less water, much less dramatic as well. And obviously when it went up today, it was a whole other ball game today. It was just amazing. And this is quite similar. This is very peaceful and beautiful and lush and green and gorgeous. But I would imagine that if it had been a really foggy morning, this would be stunning. There's a tree just there, which I can see it through the tree line, and it's an old crooked birch tree, and it just stands alone in this pine forest, and it looks fantastic. But I was waiting to see if the light would move around a bit further before I tried to photograph it. It hasn't done that, so I'm just going to leave that today. I'll come back and get that another day. I've also challenged myself to shoot with a 50mm lens today. It's that sort of lens, it sits in my bag and it doesn't get used very often, especially with landscape. I use it more for portraits. I don't want to waste it, so I thought I would challenge myself to only shoot with a 50mm lens. And the beauty of that is today I've managed to get on the ground, and I found baby ferns, and I found mushrooms and all sorts of fairy-like stuff on the ground, and it's lovely for shallow depth of field photography. And the light is just amazing. It's so soft. It's just, obviously you can see it on the ground down there. Everything's really soft and it just makes it look beautiful. So I have taken a few pictures in here already because I've been literally running about, and it's such a small area, this part. So I'll post my favourite from this location here and let you have a look at it, and then I'll also post it at the end as well. I know an awful lot of photographers tend to prefer foggy mornings and snow and autumn and things like that. They are stunning times of the year, but there's a lot to be said for using the summertime, I think, to basically explore your local area and find out how it's going to look. Try and sort of foresee how it's going to look in those other months. It's a beautiful time to explore and find new compositions, not just to come back to, but just for what they are on their own. They're just gorgeous. Nope, it's also next to a mountain biking trail, so I might get run over. I think the moral of the story for this video is just get your Google Maps out and find out what's run about you. But I do have some really awesome stuff planned for the rest of the month. So for the next few weekends, I'm wild camping. Every single weekend I'm going to be away somewhere else. The last weekend I'll be camping and going out on a boat sea trip, do a bit of fishing, and then also photograph some puffins and other wildlife, and that is going to be fantastic fun. I can't wait. The last time I remember being on a sea boat though, I was a wee bit queasy, but I'm sure I'll be fine this time. I'll be alright, I hope. But as far as I know, the boat does actually stop while you see fish. I was really young the last time I did it, so that's a bit of an experience. Yeah, hopefully they'll just stay nice, and or otherwise my vlog will be like this. So it'll be quite funny. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you like this video, then like and subscribe. And until next week, I'll see you soon. Bye.